Good morning, everybody. It is time for Quantum Spirituality on the Global Online Ministry Alliance. And I'm going to get some things set up here technologically. I wish there was a way to do this, without, automatically that you didn't have to have an intervention, but it is what it is. So let's go and make sure that we're sharing. And got too many tabs open here. Okay, so let's go. We're going to go and share our broadcast. We're going to share to Goma. Boom. And we're going to share to 3-chord because I'm also part of 3-chord. And if y'all are digging my groove, this is Khalil Shaheen and the album Maktub. I think Khalil Shaheen is probably one of the greatest jazz guitarists that ever lived. You can argue with me, and that's okay. That's all right. I ain't mad at you because your mileage may vary. Oops. I actually wanted to share to a group. 3-chord live. And with that being said, let's do the introductions, because this is the Global Online Ministry Alliance, the GOMA, and it features such awesome teachers as Lynn Bennett Jr., Kyle Butler, Catherine Toon, yours truly, Mike Zinker, Mike Porter, and Keith Giles. And all of that is good stuff. Any one of those folks you listen to, you will be edified. And also, part of 3-chord Live. 3-chord Live consists of Bill Thrasher, Michelle Brown, Tammy Wilson, Catherine Toon, Kyle Butler, and myself with Mike Zinker floating in and out. So that's pretty much the lineup. And we're going to go through and do some shout-outs as people checking in from all over the world. And I just love this, the whole Facebook Live thing that, people can watch you from wherever. So my brother John Knight, Noah One, is in the house. This is a guy, you need to check out his music. This is a gifted, talented guy. And he is a fountain of knowledge of music. And the guy's he's a musical genius. So I just want to give him a shout out. You need to be connected with him if you dig good music. I like to call him a modern day troubadour. And go look that up. So John, thank you for joining, brother. And let's see, hang on for a second. My sister, Sandra Day, is on. Now my sister is an awesome teacher, preacher, pastor, whatever you want to call her, but she is an amazing gift to humanity. And she has a page called A Day in Your Life. I highly recommend that you go check it out, get connected with it, follow it, subscribe, engage. She is just absolutely awesome, and I love her so much. That's my big sister, by the way. Janelle Brooks, how you doing, Janelle? Good to see you, one of our Agape family. So good to see you. Michelle Smith-Lindo, always good to see you, my sister. And I'm trying to wave at you, but the wave button isn't cooperating. So I'm going to keep on going. Shawana Lily Johnson, one of my heroes. Charles Knowles, thanks for watching, Charles. Esteban Soto Barrera, one of my Facebook faves. Michael D'Angelo, man, good to see you in the house. Tyrone Harris, thanks for joining, man. This is another one of my Facebook faves. This is a cat with no filter and no chill. Daniel Anderson is on. Thanks for watching, Daniel. Good to see you. Leslie Queso, thank you for joining, sis. Adam Van Wert, thank you for joining. Marianne Lopez Sanders. Marianne, I just want to thank you. I recently, in the last year, got reconnected with my old Navy buddy and brother Steve, who happens to be your husband. And I just want to say thank you for being part of the happiness that my brother so richly deserves. And I'm blessed to know you because of that. Let's see, who else here? Craig Bradley. Wow, that's my nephew. I'm so proud of this cat. He's a college student. He's an entrepreneur. And I didn't get a chance to know him growing up. I met him as an adult, but he's my nephew Sean's son. And so that makes him my great nephew. But he is just an amazing, phenomenal young man. And I just want to give him a shout out because I'm so very proud of him. Sylvester Richardson Jr., thank you for joining. And I think Marshall Stooks is in the house. Marshall, one of my oldest and dearest friends and brothers. Kristen, thank you for joining. Kristen, we missed you. Me and Angie, we were talking about you. We missed seeing you out in the mix, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, you're welcome, Craig. Listen, man, keep doing what you're doing. I am so proud of you, and anything that I can do to help you, Uncle Derek's here for you. Aaron Tomlinson. Oh my God. I am so in love with this guy's teaching right now. I met him through Aaron Abke as the whole Aaron connection, the AA. And I'm going to tell you something. This cat, his posts, brief posts that absolutely, positively make you think. And I'm glad to know him. It's awesome. Hang on, what happened to my music here? Why did it stop with this one song? That's a good question. I want to play the whole album, not just one song, because I want Khalil in the background the whole time. and this is, like I said, one of my favorite artists. So that being said, now I've done the shout outs and I've made all of my adjustments to sharing and all of that stuff. So I want to take my glasses off because I've got this setup now where I'm doing screen sharing through my Apple TV on my big TV in my great room, so I can watch the comments without my glasses. Otherwise, when I'm looking at this iPhone, man, listen, I can still hit tight groups at 100 yards, but when it comes to trying to read something, man, I need glasses or I'm blind as a bat. And so anyway, that being said, today we're talking about quantum spirituality, right? Where we observe everything spiritually at its most quantum level, right? And so that's what quantum physics is. It's observing the physical universe at its most finite, at its most granular. And so we're doing the same thing. We're applying the same principle to spirituality, and we're looking at things at that level. Now, one of the key principles of quantum spirituality is this, the principle of observation. In other words, a quantum particle cannot be simply observed. Why? Because the mere act of observation changes the state of the particle. This is really going to help somebody today because I know some people speak about consistency and inconsistency in people. That they say people appear one way but act another way. And what I want to tell you is that even in the most consistent of us, like I like to say about myself, is that the person that you encounter in social media is the same person that you'll encounter in person. And there are a lot of you out there that have found this to be true. However, even though I am the same person on social media as I am when you meet me in real life, how you observe me depends on the environment in which I'm placed in. Hear me out. Because this is what I want you to see is to not judge. Not judge. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. For example, when I'm dealing with a customer in my profession, I deal with my customer in a different way than I deal with my colleagues. And so my colleagues, they observe me at one point, but my customers observe me at another point. And the reality is that even though I'm the same person, the observation of me changes. See, when you look at someone, your mere observation of them changes their state. Yep, that's right. So one of the things that happens is, or what people have trouble dealing with, is that they expect someone to be the same way all the time. And they expect their observation to drive their reality. But the truth is that when you observe me, that changes me. Now, it doesn't change my makeup, doesn't change my matter, doesn't change my spirit, but it changes the observation. I mean, just your observation influences me. My observation of you influences you. And so the thing is that we can't be expected to be the same all the time. You know, people talk about consistency, and like for example, somebody will say solid ground. Solid ground. It's one of those things that's like a constant. That the ground you can expect to be solid. But in reality, there are molecules that make up that ground, and the components of molecules, and then you have atomic, the atoms, and then also the atomic particles, and then beneath that you have the subatomic particles, which science has proven are in a constant state of chaos. So this solid ground, what you observe to be solid, really isn't. That's just your perception. And I believe that also collective perceptions also influence things. See, this is how prejudice and bigotry happen. Because when you get a collective consciousness about a person or a group of people, that perception begins to alter the reality. That's just the reality of things. That nothing is as it seems. Things are always fluctuating. Things are always changing. And so what I've learned is not to expect when it comes to people. Matter of fact, even when it comes to the universe, I don't really expect consistency anymore, because I understand that the mechanics of it all are in a constant state of flux, constant state of chaos. So with that being said, when I look at you, when I observe you, I observe you at that point in time. I don't observe you or make a global assessment of you based on the observation. Now, let me say this, that there is a caveat to that. And that's when it comes to people, that if you frequent or you observe them in a pattern of behavior, then, hey, my music stopped again. And this is bothering me. But anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, people are always changing. And so I don't have any expectations of people. And this is freedom. This is absolute freedom. And I'm going to tell you why. because I no longer have to make an assessment of someone. Unless, now over a period of time, like for example, if someone lies, that doesn't necessarily make them a liar. But if they have a habitual pattern of lying, then that would make them a liar. Okay? Likewise, if someone is generous once, but they're stingy every other time you see them, well, you say that they just had this moment of generosity, and you've observed them in that state. Do you follow what I'm saying? In other words, don't place so many expectations on people based on your observation of them. Because if you do that, you will always be disenchanted. And this is the Zen moment. Because when you love people, when you're exercising empathy and compassion, you are simply observing people right now. And that you have to understand that this right now is not a fixed point in time. It's in time space. It's something that's constantly moving. So with that, you don't place any expectations on people. You just simply love them right where they are. Now, let me tie this together with love, because this is important. Because again, perception forms reality. And if you look at the world today, you'll see that there is what seems to be a dearth of love, a lack of love, a deficit of love. And that is because people simply haven't awakened to the reality of love. Let me give you an example. This morning, my wife and I, we went to the supermarket. And in the supermarket, all of the toilet paper was gone. This is really a thing right now. But this is what I want you to see, is that when you are loving, you're not hoarding. Because when you're truly loving, you're operating according to the greater good. And this greater good will say, there is someone else that also needs what I have. Therefore, it is not incumbent upon me to hoard this. It's incumbent upon me to take what I need and make sure that there is plenty remaining for everyone else. Now, the reason why people do this is because they don't feel loved. So when they don't feel loved, they are insecure. And when they are insecure, they behave irrationally. And so your observation of them at that point in time also begins to influence them, because you'll say, well, that person is selfish, and that will influence the observation. So I try to refrain from saying that people are selfish. What I'm saying to you is that if you feel the need to hoard, it's probably because you feel lacking in love, that you feel at a certain level that you are not loved, that you are not valued. And so therefore you have to take everything that you can get your hands on, not just what you need, because you feel at some point you have to preserve yourself because you don't think that anyone else will help you. That is a tremendous revelation. But again, I have empathy and compassion for the people who take all of the toilet paper, because I understand that at a certain level they don't feel loved. At a certain level they don't feel valued. And so I get it. I get it. And I don't make any judgments about them. I don't think anything harmful or bad, or that I have any negative thoughts toward them. No. It just simply is, and that is the observation. But what I want to do is I want to flip the script and change this so that our observation now is built on love. So that when we're looking through the lens of love, because if we influence things simply by observing them, how much would this change if the process of our observation change? If the motive behind our observation changed? What if our observation is rooted and grounded in love? And what if our expectation, such as it is rooted and grounded in love? In other words, that we don't really have an expectation, just that simply people will be. And, my wife says this all the time. She said, people will people, because that's what people do. People. And if you start off with that as a premise, you're never disappointed, because once they people, and as Dr. Maya Angelou said, that when people show you who they are, believe it. Because again, when you make the observation, you don't necessarily make a judgment, but you make note of the observation. This is so disappointing. For some reason, my Apple Music is not playing like it should. And that's distracting. Anyway, keep it going. What I want you to know and what I want you to see is that really everything is created by, created from, created for, and created to love. Okay? Everything, and when we begin to take our own lens off, see, we've been given a whole lot of lenses. We get a lens from our secular education. We get a lens from our experience. We get a lens from religion, all of these different things. And I don't know if you know that, like at the optometrist, they have that thing where, they click it around and basically, do it to determine what your eyeglass prescription is. And basically, this is like a series of lenses on top of lenses. And once the right combination comes together, they know what formula or prescription to grind your lenses to. And that's kind of like how life is. It's lens upon lens upon lens upon lens. And what we need to do is just simply take that off and really kind of diagnose what the problem is, what the root cause is. And the root cause is a lack of an awakening to love. See, if you look at love as like the quantum of all that exists, then you'll find that at the most elemental, at the most subatomic, the empathy and compassion are there. And if we operate with those, we will look at things and actually change the state of things for the better, simply by observing them in love. I mean, listen, when I saw this really blew my mind. And I'm hoping that it's something that will also help you. Because, again, if perception shapes reality and observation influences quantum mechanics, then that means that what are we, our observation, or the root of our observation, has infinite consequences. So, with all that being said, I just simply want to say, let your observation be in love. Let your observation be in love. And I know, like, nobody's perfect at this. I mean, because, like, I'll see some things and I'll say, holy crap, that's bad. And I want to say something about it, because it's one of those things that I believe that when love is applied to it, that love will fix it. And that's the only reason why I point out the things that I point out. But even there's an opportunity for me to grow in how I observe. Because if I can change my observation, I can also change my revelation. See, it's all in how you see things. And how can I say this? It's basically, again, the quantum principle is that when you observe a quantum particle, you alter it, you influence it by observation. And so stop trying to see, but you stop trying to put people in boxes. Stop trying to figure people out. I've given up trying to figure people out, honestly. I just kind of accept people right where they are. And again, as my wife likes to say, people will people. So I let people. However, the one thing that does do is my observation has a lot to do with how I will relate to the object. Because if I open a compartment and look at an object, and I see that the object is full of wonder and full of amazement, I'll continue to observe the object. But if the object troubles me, if it takes me aback, if you will, then I won't observe it. And by doing that, I won't lend my influence to the thing. Because see, the thing is, you also have an influence, positive or negative, and you have to decide what things you're going to lend your influence to. Because you don't want to influence something that you don't want to influence or you don't need to influence. Everything is not for us to see. You know, I always say that there are two things in life that we understand that they happen, but we don't necessarily want to see how they work. And those two things are embalming and dry cleaning. Yeah, you know, they happen, but, you know, there's something about them that you don't necessarily want to know. So you may not want to ascribe your powers of observation to those things. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But I think that's pretty much all I have. I didn't want to ramble on. This is Sunday. It's kind of sunny, kind of overcast out here. I'm going to go and sit outside for a while, put my feet in the pool. I'm not going to get my whole body in yet because it's still kind of cold. But let's sit by there and have me an adult beverage or two and just kind of enjoy the day. And I hope that you enjoy the day too. And again, I want you to be mindful of your powers of observation, because your powers of observation have great power. Your ability to observe has the ability to alter the performance of things. So be mindful of what you give your attention to, positively or negatively. Okay? That being said, make sure that you tune in. Mike Porter will show up on the Goma sometime after me. And then on Monday, Bill Thrasher will be on. Tuesday, Tammy and Michelle will be on. Wednesday in the morning, Grounds and Grace with Mike Zinker in the morning and Catherine Toon in the evening. On Thursday, you'll have more Grounds, more Grace with Keith Giles, and you'll also have Kyle Butler. And then Phreology Friday with myself. And I also want to give a shout out to my friend Henry Harris and his weekly show, What's on Your Mind. I want you guys to check him out. Just wanted to give him a play because Henry is awesome. He's awesome, awesome, awesome. So, and also on Tuesdays, don't forget the hot mic with me and my beautiful wife, because it's a hot mess sometimes, but we like to have fun. So I'm going to give a few shout outs here and then we're going to go home. So, let's see. Pierre Mullen, thank you for joining. Aunt Pat, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. This is the Derek I'm used to hearing. You know what? I actually did pretty good too, because I don't think I used any profanity here. But listen, let me say this about that. Don't get hung up on, if you get hung up on profanity, and this is why, this is one of the reasons why I do what I do. If you get hung up on profanity, if you get hung up on somebody saying motherfucker, but you turn a deaf eye and a blind, or a deaf ear and a blind eye to unarmed minorities being executed by police, then you have a problem. I don't care how Christian you say you are. That's a real problem. So the thing is, until I make this point and in sufficient quantities that people get it, I'm going to say what I say. And it's going to be predictable. And again, your observation, your observation influences my reaction. So anyway, Fred, cousin Fred, thank you for joining. Stephen Redding, thank you for joining. Let's see who else here. Who else do we have here? Dragons, thank you for joining. Let's see who else. Kristen, we already said hi to you, Kristen. Rachel Wilson, thank you for joining. Chris Roberts, my man, thank you for joining. Scrolling through. Andre Roberts, thank you for joining, brother. Man, I love your boldness, your courage. You encourage me. Just want you to know that, man. And I love you. I appreciate you. Let's see, who else do we have? Sean McDaniel, thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tommy David, thank you for joining. James Gibson, thank you for joining, man. I really appreciate you, man. My man from Detroit. Ron Moore, thanks for watching. Chris Heaslip, thanks for watching. Freddie Goyens, thank you for watching. Hope all is well and blessed with you, brother. Lindsay Cox, one of my favorite people. She's the wife of my friend Mick Cox. These are two dynamic teachers that are doing the thing in West Virginia and breaking the strongholds of religion. And I love these guys. Archie Reese, thanks for joining. Frank Sinclair, my man in Colorado, the moderator of the Be Encouraged group on Facebook. You ought to check that out. That will bless you. Simon Wilson, thank you for joining. Todd Vick, Kurt Schrotenboer. One of these days I'm gonna learn how to pronounce your name, brother. Yeah, so I think that's it. Oh, Shirley Key from Richmond, Virginia. Thank you for watching, Shirley. Appreciate you tuning in. So that pretty much covers everybody. That's all the shout outs. And next week, don't forget, Tuesday night, the Hot Mic with me and Angela. Don't miss it because it'll be fun. I know I have fun. She has fun. So you should have fun. All right? So until next time, namaste. I love you so much. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day on Sunday and a wonderful, awesome, fantastic week. Be encouraged. Love you.